Congratulations on the release of Humanizing AI Strategy.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the book. It's the follow-up to Humanizing Data Strategy. What's the main thing you're trying to get people to understand?
I think there are two main reasons why I wanted to write it. The first one was while I was writing Humanizing Data Strategy, I had a lot of thoughts already what the connection to AI is. So I wanted to just bring all of those thoughts out. And there's a big difference between data and AI, which is that while for data strategy it was always about people using data more, with AI it's already being used by everyone, but we need to use it more wisely. So how do we know what wisely means? And this is what I wanted to do. And the other side of it was, I think with the 5 C's framework, it's something that I reapplied from Humanized Data Strategy to AI Strategy, but it's something where the C's are slightly differently interpreted. For example, with communication being one of the C's, right? And about data was always how we communicate around the data. Now with AI, it's about AI being able to communicate to us and we to AI too. So what does it all mean? How do we make it work? And I think the last reason, simply said, is I don't think we should make the same mistakes again that we did in data strategy. And we should do the right thing from the beginning now with AI strategy.
What are those mistakes, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about why I wrote the book in the first place, right? It wasn't human-centric. It was, I think, for a long time technology-centric and I think philosophical concept-centric almost, right? About what it is. And we kind of forgot about how to deal practically with the human side of data. But with AI, let's not do the same mistakes, right? We can, again, be technology first and philosophy first, but in the end, it's for people, from people, right? So we should not forget that. So I want to just give like impulses how to do that now.
You mentioned the 5C framework. Can you just give us a brief overview of that?
Absolutely. So the 5 C's are competence, collaboration, communication, creativity, and conscience. And those are all rooted in human traits and human, let's say, needs that we already have, right? And competence is really about literacy, but also upskilling in business expertise and the way how we actually know in different manners how we should use AI, right? Then we have collaboration, which is, of course, not only human-to-human collaboration, but human-to-AI collaboration too. Especially if we think about agents, they are like proxies for automated human tasks now. So how do we work together with them? Then we have communication. Of course, I mentioned before, it's about not only how humans talk to each other, but with AI and AI to humans again. Then we have creativity, right? Which, especially in terms of Gen AI, it's a big topic because how is AI creative and how are human beings creative and how does it fit together? And lastly, conscious, because there are so many things that can go wrong, right? We have heard of about so many failure stories around AI. We can avoid them, right? If we put in the right thoughts and intention in it, then we can avoid those.
I want to zero in on creativity a little bit because you mentioned AIs can be creative, but maybe it's different from how human beings are creative. Can you explain that? Because that's fascinating.
Absolutely. So what I think is this, right? So we all know how AI models work. They learn from historical data, they learn from humanly created data, and they then try to imitate human beings in the best way possible. But when it comes to creativity, right, there's a process in our heads, how we have ideas, and then there's the output of the creativity, how we put it on paper or on any kind of expression that we do. But what AI does, they only learn from the output. They don't learn from the process, right? We are not sharing our brains with AI, we're only sharing what comes out of it. So in a way, they're trying to statistically find that pattern of how human output looks like, but they can never imitate how our brains work because we don't even understand ourselves how our brains work.
Yes.
Right? So in that way, that's where it will always be a little bit less than human beings. And I always say that that's why AI is like incremental creativity and human beings have disruptive creativity because it's truly original.
So the book's called Humanizing AI Strategy. Well, what does an inhuman AI strategy look like?
You could think about a strategy that says we're going to lay off all the people and we're going to replace them all with
that's quite inhumane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agents. And we don't need any human input anymore. Everything is going to be automated.
Yeah.
That's probably the most inhumane way to think about it. Yeah, that's probably it.
Because of my title on LinkedIn, I get a huge amount of LinkedIn spam.
Of course.
And the number one thing that people are saying to me right now is, hey, my agentic platform can replace your product managers, or it can replace your outbound salespeople, or it can replace your marketing team. And I find it quite frustrating. I want someone to reach out and say, I can make your product managers better. Yeah. I can make your marketing better. But there's a real focus right now, and maybe it's just because it's obvious or it's viewed as low-hanging fruit, on like, oh, we can just reduce headcount.
Right.
I think the winners will not be the people who say I can reduce headcount, but ask what more can I do?
Exactly. I think there's this term that's going to be used more and more, which is augmentation instead of replacement.
Yeah.
Right? It's not actually about replacing human beings, it's about augmenting the humanity of people by delegating the manual labor almost, and then letting human beings be good at what they're doing, at critical thinking, human judgment, moral compass, and all the things that actually human beings should do. And this way you have the right balance and you augment the human beings.
Yeah. Are there any stories you can share about people who you think have implemented an AI strategy the right way? Like examples that you can share with us?
Knowing that I'm not allowed to share a lot about
There is an element of that, isn't
right,
there?
I know. Because in the media, you usually only hear about the horror stories,
You
not
do.
about the best cases. Right?
Right. Every day there's a new, hey, someone messed something up badly with AI.
I would say, however, I think like tech companies are more inclined to do already intuitively the right things.
Yeah.
Now we have a problem that many tech companies are not so good nowadays on the ethics side of things.
Yes.
That we all know about.
Yeah.
But I think because they are by nature already doing tech and innovation a lot, I think they have the right approaches, which is for them only one more type of innovation that they know how to deal with.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how the technology spreads throughout different industries. I'm from the Detroit area. In Detroit, we're manufacturing,
Right.
Financial services, healthcare, and those companies traditionally are not at the cutting edge of, hey, we've got some new data technology, let's roll it out right away, right?
Right.
The last question, the book is out.
Yes.
How's it doing? How's it going? How does it feel like to have your second hit data book?
Yeah. Thanks. On the one hand side, it feels like I've been through certain things before, and it's not as exciting as being a first-time author, I would say. But I am really glad that the messages I have keep on resonating with people, and that there's a lot of people that read the first book that really want to buy the second book, and they want to see how my thoughts are on AI strategy. I think maybe the second part of it is also that a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about AI, and the thing about that is that there's so many predictions we need to make because AI is so future-oriented that we kind of have to make some kind of prediction to be able to write about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a betting game, right? So we don't know how the future is going to turn out, so we're all making our bets how it might be. So I don't know how good my book is going to hold up in next year or the year after, right? So let's see.
Yeah, well, listen, don't wait until then to find out. Go buy the book now.
And then read it again.
Yes, and let Tiankai know. But in all seriousness, I love the book. Tiankai asked me to write a blurb for it, which I was happy to do.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Because it's excellent. So pick up a copy of it. And Tiankai, spoiler alert, will be joining us on season 4 of the Super Data Brothers coming up in October. So I'm happy to. We haven't announced the season yet. But Tiankai will be on it, so happy to have you back.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I'm gonna look forward to it. It's very cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me here.
Absolutely.
All right, take care, everybody.
Bye.